so it's not so woo-woo anymore, right? We can kind of bring this into day-to-day life, and all these big high-achieving people are starting to use mindfulness. And the data now is there to support this. We have the science for people who are still skeptical about mindfulness being able to actually do the things that we're talking about. And the research is starting with just even the number of publications has significantly gone up. So if you just research the number of publications on mindfulness, the numbers are staggering, right? In the thousands now from 1980 until now, with the number of research findings that are out there that support the benefits of mindfulness. Secondly, a lot of these publications, when they talk about it, they start talking about the brain science, because the neuroscientists are starting to analyze this and really see what the benefits are. And what they talk about is this idea of neuroplasticity. Has anybody heard of this? All right, the idea, many of you are saying yes, that the brain is malleable. Even after childhood, even as adults, we can change the brain functioning through the practice, and mindfulness can be a way that we can do that. It can actually, what we put our attention to can start shifting the brain neurons to help us move in that direction. One of the things Dan Harris was mentioning was this default mode network, and that's the part of the brain that helps us focus on things like our mind wandering, right? It's the part of the brain that does that rumination when we're like anxious about something and we keep thinking about it over and over and over again. That guy that's said something to me this morning and I'm still thinking about it 2 hours later, right? Meditators actually, when they focus on the mindfulness practice, actually tamp down this part of the brain, right? So the more that we do it, our mind actually starts ruminating less. We have more ability to stay focused in the moment, because that percentage of 47% means half of you are not listening to me right now, right? Your brain is somewhere off thinking about something else that's happening. But as we meditate, we can bring that attention back into the present moment. All right, so just one benefit is getting us into the present. We can actually also then have it tied to the part of the brain that's the central executive functioning of our brain that allows for rational thinking. It allows us to shift the way that we're thinking about things so that we're not caught up in that rumination anymore. Yeah, question?
Can I just clarify something?
Yeah.
Because some people might be wondering this. So meditation is only one way to practice mindfulness.
Yes,
so, and
absolutely.
Especially for beginners, like some people are like, I cannot just sit there in silence, or I'm not comfortable doing that. That's okay, because sitting meditation is only one way to practice mindfulness. Like mindfulness is the bigger umbrella.
Yeah.
But you could start with walking meditation. You could start with mindful eating. There's so many different, even going running or doing an exercise that has you in the present moment, that you find rhythmic or relaxing. Yeah. If that brings you to the present, that's being mindful.
So you
I just didn't want people to think that meditation and mindfulness are the exact same. Yeah. They're just meditation is one way to practice.
So thank you for saying that, because that's exactly what you're leading us into, because a lot of the activities won't just be sitting meditations. They will be doing exactly what Ginny's describing, and we'll give you the definition of mindfulness. It's much bigger than just, as she mentioned, it was much bigger than just meditation. Yeah, Chris?
So it strikes me that people have been doing this for centuries across the globe and just calling it prayer.
Yes.
And so for years now, I've always started my day with at least 15 minutes of focusing on my religious life and being grateful.
Yeah.
But if you look at things like the rosary or Buddhist beads or something like that, they're all about focusing in on time. That's right. And other people might, there's probably science around those things too, but just that it seems to me that the benefits of this in some form have been going on for a long time.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that. The reason I started this was really for my own religious practice. I'm Hindu by faith, and it was something that was integrated in my life that way. And yeah, it's been there for thousands and thousands of years. And yet, in some ways, not everybody's taking to it from a religious perspective, right? So we now actually have the science to back up for people that might be skeptical from the religious side, which is not everybody, right? Thankfully, some people are getting it from that direction. But the science now can help people who are feeling like, well, I'm not that religious. Why do I have to do mindfulness then? All right, so thank you for bringing that piece in. To continue with the science, just another piece of this is when we start thinking about even unpleasant touches to us, like pain networks in our body, right? So they did a scientific study between novice meditators and expert meditators. And what they found was that they were going to put like a little pain center on people using a thermode they call it.